Glad you liked it. Do you need any tweaks, or is this exactly what you were looking for? Passion is not just a word, it's the fuel that drives the most extraordinary people to do extraordinary things. It is the difference between a life that is merely lived and a life that is truly experienced. But let's be honest, most people don't follow their passion, they settle, they let fear, doubt, and the expectations of others dictate their choices. They take the safe path, believing it will lead to stability, comfort, or approval. But here's the truth. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do, because one day you'll look back and wonder what could have been if you had just dared to follow what set your soul on fire. Finding your passion is not always easy. Some people know it from the start. They have a deep love for music, art, science, technology, or storytelling. Others have to search for it, trying different things, failing, experimenting, and learning along the way. But here's the secret. Your passion isn't something you find. It's something you create. It's something you build through effort, dedication, and relentless pursuit. It grows with you. And once you find that passion, you have to fight for it. The world will not hand you success just because you love something. It will challenge you. It will test your patience. It will throw obstacles in your path to see how much you really want it. That's why so many people give up. They think passion alone is enough. But passion without persistence is just a fleeting dream. You have to want it badly enough to push through the struggles. There will be moments when you feel like quitting, moments when you fail, when nothing seems to be working. When people tell you that you should give up, be more practical, or choose an easier path, but if you truly love something, you'll keep going anyway. You'll get up after every failure. You'll learn, adapt, and grow. Because passion isn't just about what excites you, it's about what you're willing to suffer for. And make no mistake, pursuing your passion will require sacrifice. It might mean waking up earlier, staying up later, working harder than everyone else, and saying no to distraction. It might mean losing people who don't understand your vision. It might mean walking a lonely path for a while, but every great achievement in history was built by people who chose passion over comfort. You have one life, one chance to do something incredible. The question is, will you take it? Failure. The word itself carries weight. It stings, it haunts, it stops people from taking action. Society has conditioned us to fear failure, to avoid it at all costs, as if making mistakes is something shameful. But here's the reality. Failure is the most powerful teacher you will ever have. It is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. Every person who has ever done something great has failed, sometimes over and over again. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't? The ones who succeed see failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end. Failure is the proof that you are trying. It is a sign that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone, testing your limits and taking risks. The only people who never fail are those who never try. And what kind of life is that? A life without failure is a life without growth. It is a life spent standing still, afraid to take the first step because of what might go wrong. But here's the truth. Failure is never final, unless you let it be. It is never the end of the story, unless you stop writing. The greatest minds, the boldest innovators, the most legendary figures in history, they all failed. And they didn't just fail once, they failed repeatedly. They were rejected, they were doubted, they lost everything. But instead of giving up, they learned. They adapted. They got up time and time again until they succeeded. Failure teaches you lessons that success never will. It reveals weaknesses you need to strengthen. It forces you to rethink, to innovate, to find new ways of doing things. It humbles you and makes you stronger. Every failure brings you closer to success if you are willing to learn from it. The problem is, most people fear failure so much that they never take the risks that could lead to something extraordinary. They let the fear of embarrassment, rejection, or loss hold them back. They would rather stay in their comfort zone, playing it safe, than risk failing in pursuit of something great. But what they don't realize is that avoiding failure is the fastest way to mediocrity. Because the more you try to protect yourself from failure, the more you also protect yourself from growth, from discovery, from breakthrough moments that could change your life forever. So the question is not, what if I fail? The real question is, what if I never try? What if the fear of failure keeps you from ever seeing how far you could go? What if the dream you've always had never becomes reality because you were too afraid to take the first step? Every time you fall, you have a choice. Stay down or get back up. Learn or quit, push forward or walk away. The path to greatness is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and failures, but those who embrace failure as part of the process, those who refuse to let it define them, are the ones who rise, the ones who keep going, the ones who achieve the impossible, because in the end, failure is not what stops you, fear is. The world is built by people who dared to think differently. Every major breakthrough, every revolution, every innovation that changed the course of history was made by someone who refused to accept the status quo. They looked at the way things were and asked, why does it have to be this way? Instead of following the rules that everyone else obeyed without question, they chose to break them. Not recklessly, but with purpose. Not just to stand out, but to create something new, something better. Most people are taught from a young age to follow the rules, to color inside the lines, to stay within the limits set by society, by tradition, by those who came before them. They are told to think a certain way, to behave a certain way, to live within the expectations placed upon them. And because of this, most people never question the systems that govern their lives. They accept them as unchangeable, as if they were laws of nature rather than creations of human minds. But here's the truth. Every rule, every system, every way of doing things was created by people no smarter than you. And if they could create them, you can challenge them, you can rebuild them, you can invent something new. Thinking differently is not just about creativity, it's about courage. It's about having the bravery to go against the grain, to see what others don't see, and to trust your vision even when no one else understands it. Because the first thing that happens when you challenge the norm is resistance. People will doubt you. They will call you crazy. They will tell you that you're wrong, that it can't be done, that it's impossible. And they will believe it because they have been conditioned to think inside the box their whole lives. But the people who change the world are the ones who refuse to live inside that box. They are the ones who take risks, who challenge outdated ideas, who push boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. They are the ones who disrupt industries, invent new technologies, redefine art, music, and culture. They don't just improve what exists, they create what has never been seen before. Look around you. Everything you see, the phone in your pocket, the internet, the car you drive, the music you listen to, was created by someone who thought differently. Someone who didn't settle for what was already there. Someone who saw the limitations of their time and asked, what if there's a better way? And this isn't just about business or technology. Thinking differently applies to everything. It applies to how you approach problems, how you build relationships, how you live your life. It means questioning traditions that no longer serve you. It means refusing to accept limits that others place on you. It means daring to dream bigger, to see possibilities where others see roadblocks. But thinking differently is only the first step. The second step? Breaking the rules. Not all rules should be broken, but the ones that hold you back, the ones that tell you to stay small, to stay quiet, to accept things as they are, those are the rules worth challenging. The most groundbreaking ideas, the most revolutionary movements, the most legendary figures in history, they all succeeded because they broke the rules that no longer made sense. Think about it. Every great artist, every great scientist, every great leader, at some point they ignored what was acceptable. They refused to fit into the mold. They redefined what was possible. They went beyond what society told them was achievable. And in doing so, they changed everything. So ask yourself, what rules are you blindly following? What ideas are you accepting without question? What limits have been placed on you that you never even thought to challenge? Because the world is not changed by those who follow the rules. It is changed by those who break them. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Money comes and goes. Opportunities can be lost and regained. Mistakes can be corrected. But time, once it's gone forever. Every second that passes is a second you will never see again. And yet, most people live as if they have an unlimited supply of it. They wait, they delay. They tell themselves, I'll do it later. Later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week becomes never. Why do people wait? Fear. Doubt, procrastination, the illusion that they have all the time in the world. They tell themselves they'll chase their dreams someday. They'll start the business, write the book, travel the world, follow their passion, just not today. But someday never comes, because life doesn't wait. Look around you. How many people are stuck in routines they hate? How many people are living lives that feel small, repetitive, unfulfilled? Not because they don't have dreams, but because they never acted on them. They let time slip through their fingers, thinking they had more of it. But one day they wake up and realize that their chance is gone. The harsh truth? You don't have as much time as you think. Think about how fast the last 5 years have gone by. 5 years from now will pass just as quickly. The question is, will you be in the same place making the same excuses, or will you have done something that truly matters? The people who achieve great things aren't necessarily smarter, more talented, or luckier. They are simply the ones who take action. They don't wait until they feel ready because they know that day may never come. They don't wait for perfect conditions because perfection is an illusion. They start, they move, they take risks, and in doing so, they create opportunities instead of waiting for them. If you want something, start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now, because waiting only does one thing. It steals your life from you. Think of all the moments wasted on hesitation, on overthinking, on worrying about what could go wrong instead of focusing on what could go right. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second that could have been used building your future. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens to carry. Not the regret of failing, but the regret of never trying. The regret of knowing you had a chance and let it slip away. Because when the final moments of life come, you won't remember the times you played it safe. You won't be proud of the days you stayed in your comfort zone. You won't celebrate the excuses you made. You will remember the risks you took. The moments you pushed forward despite fear. The times you chose action over hesitation. So the question is simple. What are you waiting for?